This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Support comes from ServiceNow. We're for people doing the creative work they actually want to do. That's why this ad was written and read by a real person and not AI. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business, IT, HR, and more, so your people can focus on the work that they want to do. That's putting AI agents to work for people. It's your turn. Visit ServiceNow.com.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radiopaque. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
No brakes, no fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Welcome to another episode of No Brakes, No Fear. I'm Ian Brannan. Coming up, the man of the moment in World Speedway, you could say. Fresh from standing on the top step in Gorzow, we hear from Brady Kurtz of the Bellevue Aces.
We're kind of a team with so much potential, but we just haven't really shown it yet. And there's still a lot of time to go in the season, so we're definitely working together and trying to get us all working as one unit and firing on the track.
Yeah, we've got reaction from across the Row Motor All Premiership from the fixtures on Monday night. And we also have a new signing. The Birmingham Brummies have revealed that Ben Barker will be stepping into the Brummies yellow and red once again. And we hear from Ben Barker himself in part 2.
I already know there's going to be doubters about me replacing MJJ. He's a world-class performer. Totally agree. And I'm not going to go and max out at every meeting. One thing I can tell you is, though, I won't leave anything on the track. Everything will be out there.
Much more from Ben Barker on the way in part 2 of the podcast. And in part 3, we'll have a look at the Cab Direct Championship, get some reaction from some of the meetings over the last week, including from Workington, who finally got their league season underway.
Yeah, I think it's because we haven't been riding bikes for 3 weeks as well, so it kind of took us a couple of races to kind of get back into the formality and the normal of racing a speedway bike. But towards the end of the meeting, we come on really strong and ended up winning by a good margin.
Unbeaten so far this season in the league, the Workington Comets. Hear more from Jacob Hook and James Denham before the end of the podcast. All on the way on No Brakes, No Fear.
No brakes, no fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Welcome along, lots to get through. We'll start with the meeting which was live on TNT Sport on Monday night, and Ipswich returned to the top of the Row Motor All Premiership with a convincing 54-36 win over Leicester, thanks to a hugely impressive start to the meeting, not least, tracking their full-strength side for the first time since mid-May. The Vauxhall side opened up with 3 straight 5-1s and led by 20 points after Heat 6. A landslide victory looked on the cards before the Lions regrouped in the second half of the contest. Skipper Max Frick leading their response towards a respectable scoreline. Tom Brennan led the Witcher scoring with 11+1. He was unbeaten barring a fall in his third ride, whilst Danny King put a weekend crash behind him with Redcar to score 10+1. Frick racked up 16+1 from 7 rides for the Lions, and Ryan Douglas scored 9+1, being involved in 5-1s in heats 11 and 12. Let's get some reaction then, and we'll start with the rider voted the Rider of the Night on Monday night, and that was Max Frick, chatting to Scott Nichols.
Yeah, I just tried as best I can out there. It's hard work. 7 rides on a physical track like this one. It's hard work. Definitely takes it out of you.
I was just going to say, we had a little chat before we came on here, and you said it is a tough track, and it's probably hard for the people at home to understand that, you know, what the difference is with the track. So where is it you feel it the most? Where's the most demanding part on you?
I think it's just because it's so rough. It's kind of got pretty rough here tonight, and then the dirt definitely has quite a bit of pull in it. So yeah, I'm kind of between bouncing around and the bike taking off, just kind of fighting it the whole lap. So it is pretty physical out there. So I think I had like 3 heats in 3 out of 4 heats. So yeah, I had a bit of a puff on by the end of that.
You'll sleep well tonight, but it's also that when the track is a little bit unpredictable like that, there's also the mental strain, and when it's like that, you kind of holding on that little bit tighter because you can't afford to let the bike go. I mean, you looked exceptionally smooth and you were letting the bike run, but you're always just kind of just waiting just in case it reacts.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely doesn't feel smooth out there. Yeah, it is. You're running around very tense and just hanging on pretty tight. So yeah, overall it's tough night, but I think everyone put their heads down, tried to work as hard as we can, tried to get back into it a little bit more mid-meeting, and hopefully we can kind of take that information when we come back here later in the year.
It was strong performances all round, really, for the Ipswich Witches, who are back to their normal 7 riders for the first time in ages. Tom Brennan had a great night. Were it not for a little spill, he's also been chatting to Abby Stevens.
Yeah, it was good. The team worked obviously really hard all night to be able to get that lead, and I actually think most of it was done in the first 4 races. So, fantastic team performance, and obviously for me to be able to finish it off in 15 definitely feels good.
Even though there was a little contact moment between you and Dougie.
Tell me about it. It definitely was close. I think the track kind of got a little bit ratty towards the end there, and you need a little bit of technique and a little bit of control, and I think Dougie got a bit caught out at this point now. Yeah. At this point, I was like, there is no way coming anything at this point now. So, yeah. No.
Do you have any words afterwards?
No, we didn't. I mean, Dougie actually apologised, which was fair play of him. I mean, it's obviously racing, he kind of had a good cut back. I probably went a bit too deep, but as you can see, I think if you're not ready for the track conditions, that's kind of what happens,
Yeah. And Tom, to be fair, you had your elbows out tonight as well.
I did. I mean, one of the races I definitely had them on the floor, but yeah, it was one of them. Raced hard, and Kyle, my mechanic, did an absolutely fantastic job. We've obviously been working really hard behind the scenes, me and my family, and everyone else in between. It's been a true family effort, and yeah, finally to be back on some sort of double figure point scores definitely feels good.
We'll hear from his teammate Adam Ellis shortly. First of all, let's hear from Ryan Douglas. Had an important contribution to make, involved in some key 5-1s. He's been speaking to Scott Nichols.
Yeah, it's always, you find a lot of teams, if you're off to a slow start, it kind of puts a downer on and it's hard to get going again. But yeah, I think we kind of bounced back a little bit. Obviously, we didn't pull back as many as we wanted, but yeah, I think we all rode better the second half of the meeting, and yeah, myself on a personal note was a lot better the second half, and yeah, can take a good confidence booster out of that. I've had a few tough meetings here, so to get a few good laps in is a good thing.
Yeah, I can't remember which heat it was, but there's one where you did a perfect cutback, threaded needle through, and then tried to repeat the same in heat 15, but it just didn't quite work out.
Yeah, that's it. I kind of made a similar start and seen the gap there and made the cutback and was going, and halfway there realised that it wasn't going to happen again. So, yeah, thankfully I could turn the bike just enough and give him a little bump, and off we went.
A little love tap, there's nothing wrong. But like, I was sort of questioning the way I'd like to ask Tom, but when somebody does that, like if somebody gives you a love tap, what does that do for you? Does it kind of, what goes through your head? Because it's so quick, in that split second, is it you react to that?
To me, honestly, if I get past it, I just kind of go, well, and then just get back into it again. But yeah, I had another tight one with Adam, I think, on the back straight, and yeah, your eyes blink for a little bit, but then once you get into the next corner, it's back to focusing.
Yeah, it was tricky. I think early on it was a little bit patchy and probably didn't lend to some good racing, and then it like goes slick all of a sudden. So it's hard to keep on top of the setup, and this is a track where like starts are crucial. So. Yeah, I think if you can get out the trap every time, it's easy, but struggled with that bit tonight.
So even as a home rider, this track can also catch you out and keep you on your toes?
Yeah, I mean, every team that comes here are pretty strong, and everyone knows the setup pretty much, so it's never easy, especially when you're behind. So I think you saw tonight, like, a lot of us had good rides, and then we struggled as well in some other rides, but yeah, another good win, so we're happy.
Commanding victory. Adam was looking at my programme. You did take the win by 18 points, and that's just got to be so nice. You've obviously got the return leg at Leicester, but that's got to buoy you guys up.
Yeah, it does. It's been a tough month or so without Dan and Doyley, so it's nice to have them back, obviously on track and off track as well. It's we're quite a close-knit group, so it's really good to have them back, and hopefully we can all stay fit till the end of the year.
There's Adam Ellis talking to Abby Stevens on TNT Sports. For the Leicester Lions, well, their next mission is at Oleton, taking on the Sheffield Tigers in the Premiership Knockout Cup. and Leicester go into that with an 18-point lead. So the pressure very much on the Sheffield Tigers. More on Sheffield shortly. Next, we'll turn our attention to Belleview, but before we talk about the meeting on Monday, we must say congratulations to Brady Kurtz, who has won his injury battle and also won his first Speedway Grand Prix in Gorzow at the weekend. A fantastic time he's having in his debut season in the Grand Prix series, currently standing second in the world. Took it to a grand final, and what a night it was for the Bellevue Aces as well, because Dan Bewley also finishing in third place, and between the two of them, Bartosz Szmarszlik, not bad company to be in. And we can hear from Brady Kurtz now, who's been having a chat with Ryan Guest.
Well, Brady Kurtz, we're speaking ahead of Bellevue's clash with Kings Lynn on Monday night. 48 hours pretty much since you won your first Grand Prix at the 6th attempt. You were pretty speechless on Saturday night. Now you've had a bit of time for it to sink in and reflect on it. How does it feel?
Good, obviously. I think, of course, it was a special moment and one that I won't forget for a while, that's for sure. But it's finally, I feel like the bit of relief, I think I could say. I've made so many finals now, and it's been obviously nice to make the finals, but it started getting a little bit tough that I couldn't get the win, and I went so close here at Manchester the week before, and it's finally nice to stand on the top.
So many things that made it extra special as well. One of all, the fact that you'd got your brother Todd and your dad there trackside as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my dad was pretty speechless and emotional after it, which was nice. He's put in an unbelievable amount of effort since I was 4 years old to get me here, and nice to kind of repay him a little bit, I guess. And it was definitely special to have them here. It's been quite the trip for them. A second and a third in Manchester, and then the winning Gorzow. So, it was definitely a nice moment for all of us.
And obviously, the way the World Championship standings are shaping up as well, to do it in Gorzow where you did. Bartosz is obviously schoolboy club, spent many years there. That must have tasted a little bit extra sweet as well.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people joked to me about that Bartosz beat me in Manchester, so I should be able to get him in Gorzow. So it was... it's pretty funny that I actually did, and I wouldn't say it was unexpected, but it was definitely a nice moment.
And let's throw it back a bit as well. You've already touched upon the two Grand Prix here in Manchester. Firstly, from a club's point of view, 2 unbelievable days of speedway racing.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of difficult to say when you're in it that I don't really watch all of the races and don't get to see it all, but it was definitely a lot of good racing, and track was prepared perfectly both days, and it couldn't have been any better, really, I don't think.
And that Saturday night was obviously a roller coaster for yourself. When it got to the end of the night, we could see the emotion, we could see the pain. When you look back on it now, just how do you remember that Saturday night?
I was happy it was over, that's for sure. I think after the crash, I took my glove off and my hand was that black and that swollen, like instantly. I was almost 1,000% sure my hand was broken, and I was not thinking very good at that moment, but I realised that my fingers were still alright and I could grip the bars, so got back out there, and it was nice to get that win in the last heat, get in the final, and definitely felt some relief after that, and then just to get second was a bonus.
And obviously now we're beyond the halfway stage of the championship. You've managed to close that gap as well, and it really does look tight when you look at it points wise as well. So do you dare to dream at this point?
I'm not giving up chasing him, that's for sure. It's if someone's going to do it, why not be me? And it's so difficult to gain points on him when he just never misses the final. But I'm going to keep going, and we'll see.
And just to put it into a bit of context as well, you mentioned earlier in this interview about your dad giving up so much from when you were the age of 4 as well. You obviously dreamt about this for years and years, and you've worked so hard, had some near misses to get to where you want to be, to get into the series this year as well. So have there been some pinch me moments already along the way this year?
Oh, absolutely. Just to win in part of it was enough to be like, this is really happening. And from then on to actually be in the series and be doing so well and make so many podiums, and when you get to stand on that podium, it's pretty crazy to think that I was the kid sitting at home watching my idols do that, and now it's me standing there. So it's definitely something that's not really sinking in. I'm trying not to think about it too much, really, but yeah, it's definitely it's been a cool season.
Yeah, and as you've said as well, you knew once you'd got the place in the Grand Prix series, you knew it was a whole new level of racing. You've obviously shown you can more than compete at that level as well. But just how much extra has it taken, and what have you learned from being a part of the 6 round so far?
It's been tough, that's for sure. It's the GP days are so different to the league racing. It's such a long day, and after we do the qualifying and the racing, you've been on the track like 12 times or something like that, and to keep your focus for a whole day come the final, which is 12 hours since we started riding, it's definitely tough, and tougher than I expected, that's for sure. The day after the GP, I feel like I'm absolutely wrecked, and you never get that feeling just from the league racing, and yeah, it's something I've had to learn to adapt to, I think. Maybe that's why I've come up short in the finals until now, but yeah, hopefully I've definitely learnt some things along the way, and hopefully I can keep pushing.
Yeah, just a quick look on things domestically as well. As I said, we're speaking before the Kings Lynn home meeting as well. Belleview obviously had the big loss on Thursday at Leicester, but overall the Ace is in a pretty solid place right now.
Yeah, we're hanging in there. I think it's that time of the year where we've got to try to really push on and cement our place at the top side of the table, and yeah, we haven't had a home match here for feels like a really long time, so it's nice to be back, and yeah, hopefully we can get some points on the board tonight and really push on for the rest of the year, gain some momentum before the playoffs, and yeah, get all the boys in form, ready to go.
And as you've said, getting the boys in form is one thing. Obviously, there's a few of the boys in the camp as well, kind of looking at their performances at the minute, knowing that they've got to learn the experiences of Premiership racing, some of them, and also some of the boys who have rode at this level for a couple of years, who know there's still so much more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're kind of a team with so much potential, but we just haven't really shown it yet. And there's still a lot of time to go in the season, so we're definitely working together and trying to get us all working as one unit and firing on the track. But I think that's something that Lemo and Bellevue do best. At the end of the year, we all come together and get in form and really produce the goods when it matters. So hopefully we can reproduce that again this year.
So there is Brady Kurtz, fresh from his win in Gorzow at the weekend in the Speedway Grand Prix, and he certainly had a big job to do with the other man on the podium there, Dan Bewley, to see his side over the line for victory in what was a tricky clash actually with Kings Lynn. The Aces won 48-42, 2 5-1s in the opening 3 races for the Stars, led much of the Road Motor All Premiership clash in Manchester as a result, with the margin at 2 points heading into the closing stages. But the Grand Prix races came to the party, combining for a 5-1 in both heats 13 and 15 to maintain the Aces' 100% home record in the league this season. And Brady Kurtz raced to 14+1, a paid max for him. Dan Bewley missed out in heat 1, but was then unbeaten after that, and he finished with 11+1. Ben Cook made a successful return for the Stars on his former home track as well with 10+1, and Niels Christian Iversen picked up 9 as they carded a solid score chart in the absence of their flying reserve Jan Kvek. Let's get some reaction then now. We'll hear from Ben Cook and also Nikolai Clint fairly soon, and Jake Mulford, but first of all we'll hear from the gaffer at Bellevue, Mark Lemon, with Ryan Guest.
Job done in the end.
Yeah, win's a win. You'll take that. If Kavat was here, probably might have been a different story. But you can only race what you're against. We had a really tough night. The Stars really came at us hard. We just couldn't break. The deadlock. There's so many 3-3s. I think there's probably about 10 3-3s all night. But obviously with Brady and Dan riding it so well, Heat 13 and Heat 15 were just a class above. So and that was the difference really between the two teams.
I was going to say it's a contrasting in team building when you look at the averages on paper and that, but not that you want to be overly confident going into it, but when you have got 2 of the top 4 riders going into 13 and 15, no disrespect to the Kings Lynn duo, you've got to go into it with a great deal of confidence.
Yeah, and especially the way they've been riding as well. There's no doubt about that. But you never know in this game, do you? And like I said tonight, things just was a little bit a struggle for the boys. Like the track was good, but they just couldn't quite get it up there. The setups just quite right and to their normal the way they do the bikes. But nonetheless, they keep plodding away. And obviously, a couple of heat advantages that we were on, we kind of lost, and that's credit to probably to the Stars. But probably a thrilling race night, really, but not a great one for a team manager.
Yep, it's 2 points nevertheless, and the way the league table's shaping up, those are crucially important. And as these home meetings keep coming on now, this is where Bellevue usually start gaining some momentum when the business end of the season comes along.
Well, I hope so. That's the plan. Obviously we've got a very young team. I think we've got the youngest average team. So there's still young guys learning their craft, at the highest level. So that becomes a little bit of a challenge, and we do need a little bit more from them. But it's whether you put your sweeten our arm around them, or you give them a little a nudge and a heavy talking to. But it's just trying to manage that right balance. So hopefully we can get that right.
Mark, congratulations to you in the Aces tonight.
Oh, thank you very much.
Jake Mulford, first of all, from the team's point of view, the tightest night meeting of the season here at the National Speedway Stadium, but nevertheless, job done and 2 more points in the bag.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Kings Lynn are a very good team all the way through, really. So, yeah, it was tight, but yeah, we got the win, and that's what counts, I guess. So, yeah, and for myself, it was definitely probably my best meeting, and I definitely learned a lot.
I was going to say, the rising star position is all about learning, developing as well. And I think certainly a lot of people I've been speaking to who this was their first visit to the National Speedway Stadium for a while, certainly saw the development you've made. So a real positive night for yourself individually.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I've learned quite a bit, actually, because sometimes I do sit in here and wonder what to do. So I'm glad that I've learned, and I've also had a very good night, and it's also good that people have seen that too. So yeah, really good.
Big win in heat number 8 as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever won heat 8. I know I've got 5-1, so to actually win heat 8 is brilliant.
Obviously, you're in the same team as Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz as well, 2 of the current top 4 riders in the world. Yes, they get on and do their own thing, and sometimes they are kind of reserved to keep themselves in their own pit corner, but at the same time, just by watching them, do you learn plenty that way?
Yeah, I learn a lot from watching, and Brady actually does help me quite a lot too. So, yeah, I really appreciate his help, and yeah, it's hopefully going to pay off.
Yeah, and obviously team manager Mark Lemon, you can see he's constantly talking things with yourself as well. It is one of the youngest teams in the Premiership as well, so having the faith of the team manager, I guess that means a lot in your position.
Yeah, obviously he put me out for an extra heat today as well, so for me it's a nice feeling that he has the belief in me. Yeah, so it's always good. It kind of takes the pressure off yourself a little bit, knowing that they do believe in you. So now it's just down to me.
Yeah, and Bellevue sitting pretty comfortably in the Rowe Motor Oil Premiership League table at the minute. The next visitors here are Ipswich, who are now back to full strength with Jason Doyle and Dan Thompson in the team. So I think everyone is expecting that to be a real contest here.
Yeah, I think that it will be quite a hard meeting, really. Ipswich, obviously they started the year very strong and then had the injury, so yeah, them coming back at full strength is a lot, but we can, I'm sure me and the rest of the boys can put in the extra shift.
There is Jake Mulford, another Grand Prix star in the ranks of the Bellevue Aces. He'll be lining up in SGP2 very soon indeed. Right now, let's get some reaction from the Kings Lynn camp. We'll hear from Nikolai Clint shortly, the captain of the Kings Lynn Stars. But first of all, the returning Ben Cook, who had a decent shift back on the bike for the Kings Lynn Stars at his former home circuit of the Bellevue Aces. He's been talking to Ryan Guest.
Yeah, it was good. Back to the old stomping grounds last year, so it was nice to come back somewhere familiar like that. And yeah, we done a good job. We got close and held them for a long way, but it was always going to be tough in heat 13 and 15. But yeah, it's much better performance here from us this time than earlier in the year, so plenty of positives. And yeah, obviously missing Yan doesn't help, but all the boys kind of chipped in tonight, which was good.
I was going to say you missed out at Sheffield last Thursday as well, but it was a very similar story the way that the meeting panned out as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was following along with that, and I thought we're going to do this here. And but same thing, Chris and Jack, they're same kind of thing, always good around there. And if you can hold on and get a little bit of a buffering room for those heats, it always helps. But yeah, overall we're doing well. We just need to try get a few more points on the board away, and yeah, Birmingham coming up, so we'll try for that.
Just explain how things have been from your own point of view as well. Obviously, being out with that injury, came back in Poland, and as much as you scored well, clearly weren't feeling right, and then signed out for another period of 7 days. Yeah,
it's been a shit time for me, if you really want to put it that way. It is what it is at the moment. It's never going to be, how it was before the injury, unfortunately. But just dealing with the pain and everything as best I can. But yeah, it's doing okay at the moment. So hopefully just keep it like this and stay out of trouble is the main thing. Had that week off, which obviously I hadn't ridden for 2 months or something, and done everything you could possibly do wrong in the wrist. So once it finally had that ride, there's a lot of vibration and all these new things happening again, and it was very sore after it. So took the extra week, and hopefully it's all good to go now.
And as you've said, to come back on your old stomping ground, a track is one thing, but obviously the wide open spaces at the National Speedway Stadium might help as well, and certainly involved in some real battles with obviously the likes of Brady, Dan and Jamin along the way as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be tough with the more physical tracks and all that kind of stuff, but I can only do what I can do, unfortunately, and but I mean, it's going okay at the moment. It's feeling good on the bike, so positive so far.
And from Kings Lynn's perspective, as you said, losing 6 here at Belleview, losing 4 at Sheffield, those return legs to come at Kings Lynn, so the team must be feeling confident you can get the aggregate points in those, and as you've touched upon, that trip to Birmingham next Monday, you probably need to win there to keep yourselves in with a real chance at these playoff spots.
Yeah, for sure. We always want to go away and win, but if you can't, the next best thing is keeping it close for the aggregate points. So, we've put 2 of the better teams in close for the away to try and get the away home advantage and win. And we just got to do that part now. That'll be the next thing. So, but like you said, next is Birmingham. We'd be looking to try and get something away from that.
Nikolai Clint, very similar to Sheffield on Thursday night. It was a real solid effort from the boys here at Bellevue, but just falling short in the end.
It's a great shame. We've just been talking about it in the changing rooms, and we all believe that, first of all, we deserved to win. We gave it a good crack, and if Jan would have been here, it would have been a different story for sure.
Yep, and as you say, it's very similar how the way the meetings panned out. Heats 13 and 15 again, proving costly.
Yeah, and I was in both of them. I actually felt all right in Heat 13, and then we did a bit of a gamble for Heat 15 off Gate 4 again. Didn't work out. Was didn't have enough power. Let's say it that way. And Brady and Dan. It's a different class around here. I've been lucky to beat them on a couple of occasions, but wasn't good enough today.
You have to look at the positives, though, when you consider Sheffield and Bellevue's home form. To run them as close as you did, you've got to be able to take the pluses from that as a group to take you into the final months of the season.
Definitely, and like I said in the changing rooms as well, like when we race them again at Kings Lynn, we will win with more than 4 or 6. And we've got to sort of think about, obviously, it would be nice to win away, but playoff situation, yeah? So if we keep every single away meeting close and then hammer them or win comfortably at home, then we're in a good position.
And your next away meeting, in the middle of that run now, Birmingham next Monday. With all due respect to Birmingham, but with everything they've got going on, team changes about to take place as well, it's got to be a place you've got to be targeting a win next Monday.
It has to be. Obviously, prior their visit to us, they was on a great form. But you know yourself, like, they can pop out and win. They beat Bellevue at home, even though Brady wasn't there. But we were there twice last year, I believe, and won on both occasions. And with Jan back, I think we have a great chance to get away with 3 points.
And if we can just stick with yourself individually for a moment, so obviously a long weekend on the road in the Cab Direct Championship, but from an individual point of view, 2 really positive displays.
For sure, it was nice to score double figures in the championship. But riding at Glasgow and Workington sort of brought the fun back, the joy of racing. It was probably one of the best weekends I've had in a long time, and I think you could see that in my racing today as well. Even though I only scored 8, I think I was in there or thereabout, even even when I was behind Brady and Dan, I was with them, you know, and just got to build on it.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lowe's knows how to help you save. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select Maytag laundry appliances. Plus, get an additional 10% off when you buy 2 or 3 select major appliances. And when you buy 4 or more, you'll save an additional 20%. Find the right appliances and features that fit your home's unique needs and style. Shop Maytag 4th of July deals at Lowe's. Valid through 7/9. See Lowe's.com for details. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Selection varies by location.